And we're back. Let's go. What's happening, everybody? This is Rich, coming to you live from my pickup truck. Um, Sorry, I can't go live from the cave, but it is what it is. Uh, Today is going to be a little shorter than normal. I wanted to talk to you guys today about the Jimmy Garoppolo situation. I keep hearing over and over and over about how well, Jimmy's always hurt. Jimmy's that you know a lot of us don't ever sit there and realize some things like okay, yeah, Jimmy got hurt a couple times last year, and that is true. Uh, what's up, Kush? My dog, what's happening, man? Rolling Dubs, what's up? You already know. Salute. You know, I just I just had a question. Maybe some of y'all could get at me in the comments or something. Cause you know what? I'm gonna send you a. I'm gonna do this real quick. Let's see. Copy. Bam. Put this right in here in the comments. Let's go. What's up, North Cal Raider Jess? What's up, man? Um. Anyways, I just wanted to say, the 49ers lost how many quarterbacks last year? How many quarterbacks? I think they lost two in one game, right? Two in one game in the NFC Championship. Am I correct? So I'm gonna say maybe the system is not uh, set up for to protect quarterback. I mean, how many quarterbacks has actually made it through a whole year in the system? I could think of Matt Ryan. I could think of Jimmy Garoppolo did it a couple times, but really, how many quarterbacks have actually went through a whole year in this system? I mean, they lost four this year. You know, is that how we're supposed to get this done? I mean, I just find it difficult. Um, maybe I'll have some different thoughts. You know, uh, but I'm just finding it difficult to understand how um, so many quarterbacks can get hurt. You mean and under one uh system, and it's kind of Sorry about that, man. Um, yeah, this is the first time I've had a stream on my phone in a minute. It's really hard. I'm used to sitting in front of my laptop. Some unfortunate situations have happened. I mean, I'm not able to do it today from there, but I wanted to make sure to come on and uh, let everybody just come on, talk to everybody, see what's going on. I can't see the comments. Oh, I can see the comments. I just can't see like guests and invite people right now. It sucks, man. It's so much better on my laptop. I mean, hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this then, Robinson? Why don't you get yourself on here this way? You can put it in the chat and let people join and stuff. Roll up. I mean, if you're just gonna talk crap, come on, bro. Handle your business. Handle your business, bro. Yeah, of course. He ain't here. He ain't coming on. Shit. But my thoughts about that is that I think this is going to be a little bit easier situation for Jimmy Garoppolo. I think the way he throws with anticipation and the way he gets rid of the ball very fast. I think you know what I mean. Uh, I think he's not going to be rolling out very much. He's not going to be be. There's a reason why so many quarterbacks get hurt in that system. I don't think it's a very quarterback friendly system for their health. I mean, I think it's going to be in his best interest in this Josh McDaniel system. He's going to be able to just get rid of the ball, throw with anticipation, handle his business. It's going to be a lot better, right? Okay, that okay, but that's another part of it too, because we see that with the Chargers, right? They can never stay healthy. They can never get it. Every year the Chargers what they have a problem, right? Because half their squad is out, and that happened to us this year, but it doesn't happen to us often. I don't think Mark is cheap with his training with his trainers, but you see in other teams that they're just cheap and they're not gonna put the money out for that, and the team actually suffers from it. But okay, I agree with you, Kush. Their strength and conditioning needs to be fixed, but I think some of it is part of the system. I think their system, there's a lot of rollouts and stuff like that. Just these quarterbacks are taking hits and they don't need it. You mean like I don't know. There's a reason why four of them went down last year. It's not just an isolated situation. It's I think it's a system, right? What's up, Q? You already know, brother. I'm over here trying to uh do my live from my truck. We got a power outage, so I can't do it from my laptop. So it is what it is. So I'm just sitting here in the pickup truck getting it done. You know, I ain't done it from my phone in so long. Kind of. I mean, kind of used to doing it from my laptop. But hey, we're doing it. I'm here. Hey, it is what it is. Like my new one, dog. See that? My '98. It's cracking. It's cracking. But yeah, not only that, But I was also thinking too, what is the Raiders? What's up, Nubian? What is the goal of the Raiders right now?
What up? What up?
What up? What is the
Right
what
now.
is the goal of the Raiders right now? I think it's to score points. I don't think their goal is anything more than that, other than scoring points, putting up 30 to 40 points a game. Um, and they're gonna draft defense and they're gonna let it whatever happens. I mean, just
So,
I don't know. I don't know if I agree or dislike it. What's
so
up?
what
What's up, Phil?
they're trying to do is they're trying to build depth, and they're trying to formulate quality depth by signing a bunch of guys, by drafting their players first and trying to fill up the roster that way. Now, one of the things that I've been seeing more and more as people continue to post up, and it was what I was aware of, but when you stop and really look at it, you think how many players have they drafted in the first, second, and third rounds, and once you look at that, then think of how many of those players are still on this team after 5 years, and that's a major part of what's going wrong. Is that
Right?
it? You can't build a team through free agency. It costs too much. What's going on, Q?
Oh, I definitely agree because you know what? I mean, how many first rounders have we spent on defense lately? I mean, going back to Carl Joseph. I mean, like, come on now. We've drafted what, a whole secondary. Um,
In the first and
between the
second round.
first and second rounds, we've drafted a whole defensive line, and yeah, it's not even, dude. The only person who's still on the fucking team that I could think of is Max Crosby,
That's fourth rounder, bro. Fifth rounder,
right?
fourth rounder. Yeah,
Exactly. But I mean, nobody's there that they've drafted high. You
Maury.
know? Okay, Mortgage. Um,
He's not gonna
I
be there
you know,
longer, but he's there.
yeah. You know what? I think I think he can turn it around. I think his second year in the system is going to be a lot better for him. I mean, let's face it. For what, the last 3 years, he's had to he's had to learn a new system dating back from he's from TCU, right? TCU,
Yes, sir.
and then he went under Gus Bradley last year, and then this year under fucking Patrick Graham. So I think three straight systems. I'm gonna say that him in his second year is gonna be better than him in his first year. I have to believe that. I gotta give him that opportunity. I mean, in that chance, you know, I he did do some really good things last year. He also did some dumb things. I mean, just some of it looked like he was trying to make up for fucking Jonathan Abrams' mistakes. Like he was predetermined that Jonathan Abram was gonna fuck up. You know what I mean? So he's trying to cover, do two assignments instead of one. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of hard, bro. You know what I'm saying?
The major problem for him is underneath coverage. Is that you're getting none out of the linebacking core, and a lot of what trips up the Raiders safeties are those underneath crossing routes, and then have it being targeted by route concepts where you see one guy go in between them, one guy go in front of them, and one guy go behind them, and your corner, and then you're having miscommunications with your corner on who's supposed to be covering who, and that's why it always ends up looking like a clusterfuck, and guys are looking around pointing at each other.
Right. Hey, can you hold this down? I need to run in the house real quick.
Can I hold it down? Well, let's take some questions. I see we got. Well, I can't even click on them, but fuck it. Just keep putting them in there, and eventually I'll see him, I guess. A lot of this, a lot of what's going on, like you said, it's an offensive driven league these days. Let's call it what it is. Defense is no longer winning championships. Every time Patrick Mahomes has won a Super Bowl, it's been against the number one defense. So I think it's safe to say that while the great defense can be good enough to get you to the dance, if you can't score points or don't have the ball last, you're not going to win. I've seen them destroy Buffalo. I've seen them beat the Niners. I've seen them beat the Eagles. It never ceases to amaze me how all of a sudden the Chiefs' offensive line gets so much better when in crucial games. Who am I drafting at 7? Best player available. I was going to tell you the best quarterback, but if that's Will Levis, I'm not drafting him. But I would be looking, I'd take a long, hard look at one of the two corners between Devin Witherspoon and Christian Gonzalez. I'm not 100% on the Jalen Carter train. I think that he definitely has good ability and some good traits, but one thing that I've said continuously that worries me is his gas tank. We talk about guys' motors, and motors are great and all that, but when you run out of gas, you're out of gas and you got nothing. And they were on a rotation at Georgia, and I want to say he looks like he can give you probably about 20 to 30 quality NFL snaps. Now, he suffered from being out of shape at his pro day after that whole fiasco went down with having to turn himself in for the speeding thing. And so that worries me because I look at Jordan Davis, who was the can't miss prospect, who spent a lot of time hurt for the Eagles. And so when you look at it like that, so do I want to take a guy who's only going to be able to give me 20 to 30 snaps and then is going to be as good as your average guy out in the stands because he's gasping for air and walking on the field? Or are we going to look to fill a hole at a premium position? And defensive tackle is now a premium position, don't get me wrong. But in a passing league, if you can't rush the passer, then you got to be able to cover. And if you can't cover, you got to be able to rush the passer. But they got to be able to do one or the other. They can't not do both. To me, it looks like they've got more of a shell defense going. So I expect them to be quite active in the draft on defense because they're still devoid of talent and they need young, explosive talent. And you're not gonna get that through free agency when everybody's setting records at their positions on 2-year deals.
Hello, hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, no, thank you, Phil. I appreciate that. uh,
And then I'm back over here by myself. Somehow we managed to pull that off. This is exciting.
I'm sorry about that. I'm struggling without my laptop, bro.
Mightily hit that.
Right? You know, just struggle busting it, bro. I'm so
Hey,
used to my laptop, bro. Anyways, but nah, the biggest weakness of this defense was that linebacking core. The linebacking core, dude, you can honestly, dude, like I seen like on Twitter or TikTok, a lot of people upset with Patrick Graham because last play of the game versus the Rams, it was middle of the field close, right? And it should have been middle of the field fucking open, right? And it's like, dude, they literally came back in the game, drove all the way down the field because they can throw over the middle the whole fucking game. You mean, are you fucking serious? You mean like he tried taking it away, and you're mad at him. I mean, I didn't really understand everyone's anger. You know what I mean?
A lot of people seem to forget what exactly Patrick Graham had to work with. Patrick Graham was down to a linebacking core that was Luke Masterson,
Oh,
two guys that he literally signed off of the street.
right,
Now, we could go on forever and talk schematics about how he chooses to align his defense, run multiple looks, and this, that, and the third, and just how many linebackers he's got on the roster and what it is that they do. But the reality is that when your entire starting core of linebackers and your backups are all injured, all
right,
half of on injured reserve, have been for the majority of the season, there's only so much that you're going to be able to scheme. I believe it was the game against it was either the Saints or the Rams, and I believe it was the Saints, where I was looking, I was saying, why don't they blitz more? Why don't they do this? And then I saw Denzel Perriman get locked up in coverage against Alvin Kamara on a halfback angle route, and I said, that's why they don't do that.
right.
Woo! And so if you can't trust your linebackers to hold their zones or to play underneath coverage and get to a ball and provide you with some type of pass defense, then the rest of your defense is doomed. Because in this league, people are going to 5 to 10 yards you straight down the field. There's
Right.
plenty there's plenty of linebackers. I think a guy that's under the radar that nobody's really talking about that showed me a lot of moving, and really he reminds me a lot of Fred Warner is Dayon Henley, middle linebacker from Washington State.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that's the one. And wasn't there another one from like San Jose State
I
that you was talking about?
I'm not familiar with the one from San Jose.
Okay, then it must have been Jones then.
KB was telling me they actually got a defensive tackle that's pretty legit, and so does
Okay,
Boise State has a 300-pounder that moves like he's a fucking linebacker.
really?
Yeah, his three cone drill was low sixes, I believe.
Ooh,
He was screaming through that, and then or that was, and then I think there was also then he also sent me the results of the dude, the defensive tackle from Houston.
okay, okay. Yeah, I've seen a little dude. I still like the dude out of Northwest. Is it Northwestern?
Uh,
Double A. Because
Toby
I ain't gonna say his name, bro. I'm gonna fuck it up, bro.
Toby Miwa Adebore.
Yeah, yeah. I rather you butcher that shit than me, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I was practicing, and it's still
You still fucked it up, bro.
Adobore. Adobore. Wore. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. I like his suddenness off the line of scrimmage. I went back and watched some of his film. Dude's pretty legit. Let me ask you a question though. The edge rushers out of Georgia, they didn't put up a lot of numbers, but they also wasn't on the field a lot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They were kind of like they had like a whole rotation. There's like six. They're like six deep. Would you be willing to spend the seventh pick on an edge rusher from Georgia? Or are you gonna worry about the small tank issues just like Jalen?
So now, no, I would say that the edge rushers have held up a little better. But they do it more. I guess it's kind of similar to what Graham does with linebackers as defensive ends. But they're lined up in a 4-man front. Uh,
Right,
you could do that. I think, and Nolan Smith would be the guy that you'd have screaming off the edge. But I think that there are other avenues that probably would be, or other guys who would probably be better.
right.
Um, but that's not to knock the Georgia boys. Uh, they also Jordan Willis is going to be legit.
Okay.
So he was solid. He was solid with the Niners, and he's technically sound.
Okay. But
So,
so is Jenkins that they got from Miami, right?
well, Jenkins is a defensive tackle. Jordan Willis is the edge.
Yeah, yeah. I know. That ADD. Just boom. Yeah, because I've been watching some YouTube on him. He's a rotational player. I I,
And
I
they're
think he's better than what we've had. I think he's better than what we've had. I think he can fill Billings' spot admirably.
yeah, he can, but I mean, look, you weren't asking Billings. Let's be real, you weren't asking Billings to do too much more than occupy space and an additional blocker.
Right.
Nearly if it wasn't in the run game, he was a virtual stalemate every play. Now sometimes you can call that a win in the run game. And that's giving you nut. That's just a warm body out there in the passing game.
Right. But at the same point, I think this uh, Patrick Graham's defenses always worked best when you had those two defensive tackles just wreaking havoc on the offensive line. I, I would love to see the Raiders draft a dominant defensive tackle at 7 if they stay at 7.
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think there's one worth drafting that high. Now, that's not to say that somebody's not going to draft Jalen Carter at 7 or higher. I believe he's either going 3 or 5 to me.
Yeah, he ain't making it past Seattle because Pete don't give a shit.
Yeah, Pete don't care. Pete will draft. Yeah. But to me, I think his stamina issues are more off-putting than the trouble that he had is very off-putting to me too, because I think he's just a young meathead, and he's got a lot of growing to do, and I don't, and he needs to do it quickly, and I'm not gonna hate on him, so he's got a lot of growing that he needs to do, and he needs to do it quickly, very quickly. Now, Elijah Cansey, Pittsburgh is using the Aaron Donald mold and the Aaron Donald coaching. Their defense is coaching the same way, and so what you see is a lot of clones, and everybody likes to say 2.0 this but you're not seeing upgrades.
Right.
I think that Kalijah Cansey is good. I liked they had a defensive tackle that came out last year and didn't even get drafted, who I thought was going to be insane.
I agree, but I mean, wasn't Marco Cooch supposed to be the next Khalil Mack?
So there's
shit.
So there's a couple things that
I know you're going through it right now. You gotta look out for my people, dog.
Hell yeah, thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, tu pastor, tu carne asada, food, enjoy it.
All right, gracias.
Right?
All right,
all right. Hey, where the fuck is my taco at, Rich?
You ain't got no tacos, fool. You ain't got no tacos, dog.
Hold it down so you go make a run, motherfuckers. That's what.
Nah, Charlie, fool. Fucking that's the neighbors. You know what I mean? Fucking. Hey, bro, when you good people to your neighbors and shit. You know what I mean?
But so Rick Coho, they said in the later rounds, if you could get him in the later rounds, but from what I've seen people try to say that he was going to go in the first. I've seen people say that he was going to go in the second. To me, if he's available in the second round, I'm taking Thule.
Right?
I'm taking Thule.
I'm not even mad if you trade back and just get him.
I'm not
round
trading
15.
back. I'm not trading back for shit.
I'm trading back. If
you got 12 picks in this draft, 12.
Bro, only thing to make it better is 14, 13. You know what
If
I'm
you
saying?
if you can't get it right with 12 picks, you wasn't gonna get it right with 14. You wasn't gonna get it right with 15.
I mean, we've all lived through this 5 first rounders in 2
Those
years
people are no longer
bullshit.
here. So no, we haven't
Exactly.
that. And for what they did last season in the draft, said your first and second became Devontae Adams. Third was a year-long starter that started at center and guard as a rookie.
And only gave up 2 pressures. Only gave
You
up
know,
2 pressures. Let's give Parham his I ain't gonna say that word because somebody else uses it, but let's give him his props because he only gave up 2 pressures all year. You know what I mean? So he needs to be. We all need to recognize what he did last year. Only 2 pressures and 1 sack. That's pretty damn good for what, a third rounder.
yeah, you got some play time out of your fourth and 2/5.
Right.
So that wasn't a complete waste.
Hold on, and then you had a 7th rounder who unconventionally was playing right tackle most of the season, and then when Colton Miller went down, you know, um, Illuminor went to left tackle, he played right tackle, and they didn't miss a beat. Like a lot of people are just really upset the way Carmen Brasillo had him, come in the third quarter and finish off games and shit like that, dude. They don't even understand what they're doing with their offensive line. I was like, yeah, let's see what they're doing.
Hey, hold on. I know there's about 6.5 people in here, but I'm gonna take this victory lap anyway. Goddamn, I told all you motherfuckers about this offensive line that this offensive line was so much better than anything that anybody was saying about it, and they fucked around and brought the whole line back.
The whole line back.
Whole line back.
Even Brandon's fucking ass.
Whether Alex Bars ends up the backup or whether he starts, they brought back the entire offensive line, and rightfully so. They weren't going to get a bet. They weren't going to be able to piece it together and get more production at a lower cost than what they're doing right now. They just weren't.
Exactly. I mean, this is an offensive line. I think Carmen Brasillo has done a great job with what he's done with this offensive line. Is he doing everything conventional? Fuck no. At this point, I don't give a shit. I'm willing to let Carmen Brasillo do whatever the fuck he wants to do. If he wants to switch people out every fucking game, I don't give a shit. Handle your business, bro. Do what you got to do. This offensive line, top 10 in win rate, top 3 in time to pass. Come on, bro. I mean, and they're better run blockers than they are pass blockers.
And they were damn good at pass blocking.
And they were damn good at it. Were they as good as the 2016, 2017 team? No. A lot of people have to understand that you're not going to get that very much in the NFL. That those were generational offensive lines. Like you're not going to get that very much.
Everybody's going to be the Cowboys of the 90s.
Hey, and a lot of that offensive line was put together. It wasn't all like first rounders and shit like that either. You know what I'm saying? It was a mash unit. You know what I'm saying? And it was great, bro. It was great how they came together. I mean, dude, it was just one cohesive offensive line handling their business, and I think that's what we got last year. Dude, some of these guys are just gonna get flat out beat at times. Like Colton Miller got beat several times. Luminor got beat several times. Bars, the last game of the year, dude. Bars was he was done. He had nothing for Mr. Jones.
You want to
You
hear
hear me?
something funny?
What's that?
You want to hear something really funny? So you had mentioned that the 2022 Raiders offensive line did not give Derek Carr as much time to throw as the 2016 line did. You did say that, right?
No, I said they weren't as good as them.
Okay. So you that's what you said. They weren't as good. Would you care to wager that that is incorrect information?
Motherfucker, if you already try to get me with some money, no. No. If you already try to get me with money, Charlie. Chanclas.
I know.
Negative. I'll give you 5 push-ups. What's up?
I'll take 10. But
All right, give me the numbers. Let's go.
said the average time to throw for the Las Vegas Raiders in 2022, I believe, was 3.14 seconds.
In the pocket.
Time to throw.
Right. In the pocket.
And
Right.
the 2016 Raiders were 2.49 seconds.
Ooh.
Now, that's also you have to take into consideration when your boy was unloading it at 2.2 seconds when the ball was coming out so fast receivers weren't even getting a chance to run their routes.
Right.
But even regardless of that fact, I believe that I know for a fact that Josh Jacobs had more rushing yards than Latavius Murray.
He led the league in rushing. Right.
Yep. And so your Pro Bowl, your car insurance offensive line that everybody went to the Pro Bowl said actually didn't have as good a year as the offensive line from last year.
Wow. Let's think about that because I've been online. I've seen a lot of stuff, and a lot of people told me this offensive line was garbage this year. It was trash, right? It was just trash. I'm just saying.
Garbage.
Garbage.
Basura.
Hmm. But yeah, man. Yeah, we're already 37 minutes in. I want to thank everybody for showing up. We ain't leaving right now. I just want to say respect to the chat. I can't put nothing in the chat right now. Sorry. You mean I appreciate you though. The new people who just showed up, Raider Cojo 916. What's up? Come back next week. It's gonna be way better. Just this week, little struggle bus, but we're gonna do better. Be better. we ain't gonna we gonna do better next week. All right. NorCal Raider Jess, you already know, doggy. You mean we're gonna do better next week. All right, so I started this off talking about I don't think that
Take that back. They had 35 sacks. They gave up 18 sacks that season. This is 35 last year, and Derek Carr didn't run into that many.
Okay. All right, so I came out with a statement earlier about quarterbacks in what's old dude Kyle Shanahan's offense. They lost 4 of them last year. They lost 2 in one game, right? Is that offense basically a quarterback trap? Like your quarterback's gonna get hurt in that offense, or he's gonna take shots in that offense. I've only known 2 quarterbacks to actually be in that offense and make it the whole year. I mean, RG3 didn't. You mean RG3 didn't? Jimmy's been hurt year in, year out in that offense. Old boy from the town got hurt in the NFC Championship. Purdy got hurt. Trey Lance got hurt. Jimmy G got hurt last year. So is that offense? Is it Jimmy G getting hurt, or is it that offense? Because I really want to know. Because there's a lot of proof in the pudding that it may just be that offense. What's your thoughts?
It's possible. Like you said, the only two people I've seen run that offense and not get hurt was what? Matty Ice and
Jimmy Garoppolo when they went to the Super Bowl, right? That's it.
I thought Kirk ran it pretty good. And Washington.
Okay, so he was in that offense and ran it. And
Jimmy, well, he didn't run it. He didn't run it that well. I'd say, and I listen, bro. Yeah, you can say whatever you want to about those runs, but like, look, Jimmy was there, and Jimmy didn't completely fuck it up. So Jimmy got credit for the W. But I don't give those runs to Jimmy as much as I say that he was there off of a strong running game with a lot of different running backs who were capable and an outstanding defense and some tight end throws.
Right.
But Jimmy has a health issue, and quarterbacks tend to get hurt under Kyle Shanahan. I don't know. I'm not going to say that those two issues aren't related, but at the same time, it tends to happen more with one guy than others. So you got to call it what it is.
Right. I mean, I'm just that's something I just been thinking about for the last couple of days. You mean?
Now you got to call it. Remember, it's Raider Kojo. If you don't say his name right, Kojo. The J is not silent. He's not going to come to your channel.
Hey, I'm Raider Kojo. My bad, doggy. My bad.
Motherfucker, say it right with all the respect on his motherfucking name.
Right? Hey, we got another brother here. What's up, Kush?
Kush.
What's happening, brother? How you doing, Rich? How you doing, Phil? Good to see y'all.
Oh man, I'm living a dream, bro.
Good to see you, Rich.
Hell yeah!
I just roll up real quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm hearing. You know what I'm saying? Phil, all of these good blessings and these gems. You know what I'm saying? Get me a little motivated while I ain't smoked all weekend, so this is my first smoke of the day. So I figured I'd share it with my brothers up in here on this panel, man. Salute to y'all.
That's right. Hell yeah. Hey, Kush got me in the morning trying to be working out and shit. I'm on the trucks.
Better push the homie.
You know what I mean? Hey, Cujo. Hey, it's all good, brother. It's all good.
Hey, I interrupted though, man. You guys are talking about some real good stuff, right? I mean, interrupt, man. Phil, you was talking about the Niners and the JG situation. One thing I saw, bro, was that I was listening to someone talk about the difference between Mike Shanahan and Josh McDaniels, right? And you look at what Kyle Shanahan, not Mike, but Kyle Shanahan, and what his offense was. A lot of it was really based off of the offensive lineman, the center, defenses, and what he saw. And then by the time the quarterback got out there, you know what I'm saying, he was just, you know, how far from that is it from what you're seeing, bro? Because that's actually, but Daniel's offense with that.
So one of the key things that I've seen that Kyle Shanahan does is that he moves his quarterback a lot more than most other people do it. Now, that's kind of like a throwback to the old West Coast offense, and these days taking advantage of the skill set of his quarterback and the speed and the running threat that it presents. The problem is that the offensive line play for the Niners has been the pass protection has been spotty to say the least. That's why they paid Trent Williams all that money to try to shore that up. And that's why they let Mike McGlinchey go make all that money that he made someplace else, because it wasn't worth it to them to pay it to him.
Yeah.
You could take Shanahan's offense all the way back to Washington and how they fucked up Robert RG3's career, ended it.
Yep, that's facts.
Okay.
And he was balling out before that.
But in the same token too, you like a lot of us, like, we understand that Colton Miller, he's not a superstar. He's not a top 5 offensive tackle.
But I'll give him 10, not 5.
Okay. But the money
Take out last season. Take out last season.
Fuck that. Take out the last. No, take out when Armstead bench pressed his ass. Right. We could just take that out of our memory bank. Right. All right. That's what we're gonna do, right? We're gonna take that out of our memory banks, right?
So let me ask you a question. How did you feel about Thayer Munford?
I like Thayer Munford. I liked him.
You remember when Aiden Hutchinson put him on his ass with one hand? Like he
was
about to say
all game long. Right?
One fucking occurrence. Give me a break. Shit.
What do you guys think was all of the fast break shit on the right tackle spot was? You think that it was a lack of cardio that Thayer Munford experienced that he was in, or you think Illuminor just they needed to split, or what was going on with that right tackle spot last year, man?
So you gotta get for they thought they knew what they had, and it's something that I've talked about too, is you can look at guys on a piece of paper, go back, watch tape, and think this is what you're gonna get out of these guys. And then when you get there, you just that's not what you get. And so now you got to scramble and try to figure out what the fuck is going on. Now, if guys aren't picking up the playbook or understanding the concepts, now you're in a position where you got to start trotting guys out there to do things, or you got to see who can do what best. Nobody's playing starters anymore, so it's like, well, what the fuck? Well, why are we even having a preseason?
Right.
And so now that you have no preseason and no starters are playing, it's like, all right, cool. Now you go through all your entire depth, and now they've switched it up and made one cut day, so you go from 90 to 53 right before the season starts.
Yeah. So is that a good thing or a bad thing?
An awful thing.
Okay.
Because if you stop and think about it, that means that you're keeping all these guys around. So none of your starters are ever going to see the field. Because you got
coached up and everything filmed.
Yeah. You got way too much depth to try to go through, and these guys, and they've already shrunk down the preseason to 3 games, and now you're looking at completely meaningless games. And then you're going to look at what ends up happening is the first quarter of the season is warm up, is training camp, because you see terrible football usually up until about week 6 from the entire league. A couple of teams will come in there and be solid and show that, you know what I'm saying, they didn't forget how to play football, but other teams will just come out there and be straight ass cheeks.
Oh, for sure. Because you know what? I'm not expecting that this year. From the Raiders offense, though. I really don't. You got Jimmy, who's familiar with the system. You got Devontae, familiar with the system. You got Josh Jacobs, familiar with the system. Jakob Johnson. You got what's old boy? Everybody, Jacoby Myers. Like, everybody shitted on that Jacoby Myers pickup, but I kind of liked it.
Hey,
you mean
did you see that fumble?
It was named. It was named the best free agent.
Yeah, but what he is an immediate
Go ahead, Phil.
upgrade at the number 2 spot for wide receiver. He's a legit. He can play outside. He can play inside.
How many
He's
yards
better
did he?
than Matt Collins. 780 yards.
780 yards compared to the 690.
Right.
How many touchdowns?
I don't have the touchdowns in front of me, sir.
Because I know Mac Hollins had 4 and should have had more if it was for
4 or 5.
Mac Hollins should have been 1,000-yard receiver last year. Now
He should have.
we could say whatever we want
He
to
dropped
about
a couple good ones.
the situation, but I believe that despite having almost 700 yards, there was a lot more on the table that got left there.
Yes, sir.
Field.
But
you know, one thing too. I think one thing too. I don't mean to cut you off, but like when we were looking at this offensive line, fellas, we didn't have Waller half the fucking year, and when Waller was on the field, he wasn't a good run blocker either. So when we're looking at effectiveness on the run game, and me being optimistic, because I'll tell you, I was listening to Phil weeks back, talking about how great the offensive line was, and I wasn't convinced. But after listening to him a little bit more, I mean, the guy knows his stuff. I'm gonna trust you. But what I saw is that I'm optimistic this year because I think that we've gotten better with the run blocking from the tight end position. I could be wrong, but just looking at the guys compared to what we had last season, that's one reason for me to be optimistic about, you know.
Foster's run blocking was horrible last year. Horrible,
bro.
Horrible.
And we blamed the offensive line.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be a blocking tight end. That's why I couldn't understand. And you know what I'm saying? And that's not to say that I'm not sympathetic to what he got going on right now, because those two things are unrelated. But his run blocking was goddamn terrible last year. I couldn't understand how it was.
Shit. But was he good at catching too?
Like his run blocking.
The catching was bad too.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. He did pluck some off some defenders' fucking helmets, though. I gotta give him that.
He definitely. Well, look, he wasn't given. He was either
he had some cold ones.
A catch, or he was gonna have a doof moment because of the nature.
He said a doof moment.
He did it himself though, because I remember a couple of interviews. He was like, "Yeah, I need to be hitting that jug machine. It's obvious. I need to be hitting the jug machine a little harder." So I mean, it's not like we bashing him or nothing on it. He knew what was going down last year too. He dropped some real, I would say, critical moments. I would say game winners, but there were some moments there where he could have secured a first down or got a couple touchdowns if he would have. But he did have some good moments too where I wasn't really expecting it. You know what I'm saying, in replacement for Waller. But he's been in the system for a while, or he's been on the team for a while. He's been around Waller. I would expect that he would have picked up a little bit more of, you know what I'm saying, of that, especially coming from LSU and hearing the background about how great he was and respected. He's a locker room guy for sure, but that brother couldn't block.
I think a lot of that probably was his knee, and that he lost a step, to keep it honest, keep it trill, because he wasn't running away from anybody.
Hey, but at the same time though, but Foster Moreau was best when he was on the field at the same time with Waller, because remember he would get lost in coverage, right? And then you'd always see Foster come up with a big catch, right? You know, because nobody gave a fuck about Foster. Let's tell the truth. You know, they wasn't thinking about covering Foster. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, they wasn't.
Shit.
You know? I think that's when he had probably his best couple games though, was when they didn't really have a lot of film on him, wasn't playing it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, what's up, Dwayne?
What's up?
We just talking about Foster Moreau right now.
What happens to him?
Well, we were talking about his level of productivity.
Oh, okay. You scared me for a second. I thought cancer was more advanced, and some shit happens to him like that. You know what's weird? Do y'all remember the game that his rookie year when he got hurt and then he got hurt on that stupid white plastic that's on the sidelines, running out of bounds.
Right.
Oh yeah.
That's how he
Mhm.
got hurt. He never seemed like he was a really good red zone target. Like he really, I mean, didn't he have like 4 or 5 touchdowns his rookie year?
Sounds
I
about
can't
right.
remember what he had.
But I think I mean he was developing into something. I'm not saying he wasn't as like super explosive, but he was a chain mover. A guy who could make plays in the red zone.
Yeah. He was like let's tell the truth. He was a poor man's Zach Miller.
Yeah.
Damn, don't say that name again, dog.
No,
Hey,
I,
but you remember
I
though, his second year they brought in Jason Witten too to supplement some of that. Gruden brought in Jason Witten to help mentor that group.
At least McDaniels brought in some guys in his prime, in their prime, who are his guys. He brought in Jason Witten. That was painful.
should have kept Paul Butler.
Yeah, he should have.
oh fuck. Hey, I'm
My
glad
boy.
Jones ain't on the stream because we would have the Parham discussion and shit. You know what I mean? He'd be fucking Parham. No fool.
Paul Butler. It's like you got everything you need right there and won't get this man no burn. I was like, he can't be any worse than this asshole. It's just
Right?
Coaches are fucking stubborn like that, though, man. I hate that, dude.
now, Coach O. Now, Rich hadn't read this question, but what do I think about trading for DeAndre Hopkins? $45 million over the course of the next 2 years.
45 mil, bro.
45
Yeah.
million. 29,
I'm out.
almost 30 this year, and 25 next year.
We're gonna have to
Honestly,
restructure that.
No, but he said he's willing to restructure though.
Yeah, we
if he had,
restructure.
That money is still $45 million.
Right?
I know.
Yeah.
If we had Rodgers or somebody who could throw the ball like 40 times a game, and at times I'd be comfortable with it.
Yeah.
But not
Exactly.
somebody like Jimmy. Jimmy G has more ball control. You want to keep his throws between 25 and like 22 and 30 at the most. Like you don't want to throw the ball all over the place.
Inside
I would argue with you fellas.
downfield.
I would argue with you fellas. I think the last time that we had an issue where a quarterback was trying to calm down his receivers because they all wanted the ball and they were all star receivers was with Rich Gannon. When he was talking about that recently, he was like, "Yeah, I had to go and tell Hall of Famers, hey man, chill, you ain't gonna get the ball in this possession. So and so is hot or whatever it may be." So, I mean, when I'm looking at the DeAndre Hopkins situation, it reminds me of what Rich Gannon said because you only got one pigskin, right? So when you have Josh Jacobs, who we know, like when I'm watching the game on Sundays or Mondays or Thursdays, I'm like, get a ball to the dog, let him eat because you got to get in the rhythm. So with that being said, I mean, we're going to have possibly a rookie tight end. We're going to have a good tight end group that can catch the ball. We have a really good, I mean, it's a Walmart version of the receivers that, we really want to have, but minus DeAndre or minus DA. But if we add this dude in, how many times is he going to be able to get the ball for us to be effective for that 45 mil would be my issue I would have with it,
I mean, they can't make that move. They need to start. I mean,
Lamar, if they make a move like that, they should have gave that money to Lamar.
That part.
Dude, I mean that part. What is going on?
Preach.
Hey,
say
Phil,
what is going
for
on
the
with
people
Lamar?
in the back.
Is it a league-wide
For the
conspiracy?
people in the back, bro. Come on, man. You know that, bro. That it don't feel right.
At this point, if I was the Raiders, I'd go offer him $145 million.
Yes, sir.
Like, well, at this point right now, Lamar Jackson is willing to take just about anything to get out of Baltimore. Now, I don't know how it works about the whole they can match the offer, because if they can match the offer, okay, that's cool. I would still think that because he would get the opportunity to go wherever he wanted to go if they don't exceed the offer. Now, they're running up against it to see what they're going to do. if they're going to move him, they're going to move him pretty quick because they need to get that draft pick and figure out what they're going to do in terms of moving forward. They got
how
what?
the hell could Atlanta was going to give massage therapy all that money, but they don't want to trade for Lamar Jackson? That's crazy. Atlanta would be on fire for Lamar Jackson.
We don't know that they don't want to trade for him, though. We don't know that.
Here's the bigger question.
They gotta do it. I mean, like they gotta be all over.
Hold on. It's not just Atlanta though, but think about fucking Washington.
But I think they would probably prefer.
And Washington
they had a choice.
Dumped their owner. They got and Ron Rivera has shown that he's not progressive enough to handle Lamar Jackson. He's not going to be there much longer past next year anyway.
Yeah.
But
Are you sure? I mean, didn't he have Cam Newton and took a? They both went to the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
this ain't the same dude.
I'm just saying. I mean,
it's the same guy, but this ain't the same dude.
Yeah, I think in that situation, I think the owner also wanted Cam. And then it kind of forced his hand too. Like, I mean, I don't think Ron Rivera is kind of like Ron Rivera and Del Rio are from the same cloth.
Okay, I get it.
But they about to be fired next year anyway because a new owner's gonna fucking fire them.
Yep.
Phil, I gotta ask you the question.
Yeah.
Phil.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk about our boy, MD, Mad Dog Mark Davis, right?
Yeah.
And I guess there's a report out that we were talking about. I think it wasn't last night. I think it was 2 nights ago. And I won't even call them Kardashians anymore. I don't want to be disrespectful no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna call it truths officially. I'm not gonna call them Kardashians, but people that support Carr. Apparently, there was a conversation that happened between MD and Carr, and Mark Davis said that once he's done with New Orleans, that he had a spot back in Vegas. What's your interpretation of that?
No, that's not.
How do you guys take that?
No. That's not what was said. That's not what was said. He said,
you, dog.
Derek Carr said when he's done, he's gonna come back and help the organization. He's gonna come out and do promos. He's gonna come out and do the mixers and stuff like that. You mean so?
Okay.
It's a whole lot of bullshit. What it is.
Hold on. It came from Harvester, right? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It came from Harvester, so it's all bullshit. Okay.
Yeah.
Came from
It's
Harvester.
The kids is in bed. That's why I figured I asked. I didn't want to get Phil too riled up early on. I didn't know if he had, send the kids to bed or not, but I knew that was going to be a question that was on my spirit.
That was me. That was me.
Yeah.
He's usually cool with it.
People really took that and they just took it for another different curve with it. I think I've heard it about at least 5 times. I was down in Oregon, right? I went to go watch the Kings game, right? And I was wearing my Raider hat. And this dude came up to me. He's like, "Hey, you guys are getting Derek Carr back." And I was like, "What, to be the water boy?" I was like, "He's not coming back, bro." I was like, "Look, they going to feed him some good soul food down in New Orleans. They going to give him a church. They going to let him have a little business down there, maybe a carpet cleaning business when he's done, carpet cleaning. And he's going to be down there for the rest of his career."
He's going to Houston, bro. With the old Steves. He going with the old Steves, bro.
They treat you, bro, good. He got a new coach. I don't even bring it back.
I just see my watchers fall the fuck off, bro. I don't give a fuck.
Hey, I had to ask the question because a lot of people were talking about it, and there was no solid answer to it. Because in my heart, I was like, nah, I didn't even have to read the report. I already knew what the deal was, or watch whatever it was.
I'm just saying. Hey, Derek's happy he's closer to the old Steves.
Yeah, exactly.
Good friends.
They're just people who are bored with money on that Harvester podcast. They're just people with money who just bored. his brother goes on there and talks. I don't know how NFL Network could allow that dude to even talk about his brother. Like, you talking about your brother as a freaking independent, supposed to be a network from a network's perspective. That's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah.
It's pure. Well, I mean, if you really want to get technical, that'd be the same thing about NFL Network media. I mean, did you really expect them to tell you the truth, or are they going to tell you exactly what they're told to tell you?
They want that money, baby.
Seeing the way you've seen from Jim Trotter right off the bat that they have no intention of telling you the actual truth, getting to the bottom of what's going on, or being as progressive as they claim to be when it's thrown back in their face. What did they do? They let that man go.
Straight
Right?
up.
Yep.
Straight up.
Yep.
So
That's crazy.
I
I'm surprised.
got some.
I'm surprised Goodell didn't say in that when Trotter was coming at him, his answer should have been, his answer really should have been for real, and been like, "Yo, that's why we're letting you go. That's why we're firing you."
Hey, I ain't
Questions
gonna lie,
like
bro. I'm glad that you had this show tonight, because I couldn't sleep on that. For real. I was gonna wake up angry as a motherfucker. For real, Rich. I ain't gonna lie. I was gonna wake up mad as hell, bro, if I didn't get that off my spirit, y'all.
I don't want
Man,
this motherfucker back.
Hey, this an early Sunday for me, man. Thank you, Pastor Rich. Thank you, Pastor Phil. I feel rejuvenated. I feel good, baby. Thank y'all,
Hey,
man.
bro.
I feel better.
Hey, bro. He's coming back to sign autographs, bro. That's it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's
yeah. I mean,
it.
all respect to whatever we got to give it to, but yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? I think that's.
Yeah, I was
Go
gonna say
ahead.
he'll be able to come back and retire a Raider, because
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Yeah.
that's what's
That's
gonna
what's up. That's what's up.
retire
Yep.
a
Yep.
Raider. It's not gonna be a come back and play thing. It's gonna be one of them 1-day contracts.
Yep.
I just want that whole division that he went to, because the whole division he went to because it was like the worst division in football. And I want Carolina to go get their quarterback, and then I want Atlanta to go get get Lamar Jackson, and then and just keep it rolling. So all of a sudden he got
Hey.
a challenge, and we all know when he gets challenged, what happens.
And you saw what he did against Baker Mayfield. I mean, he didn't really do it himself,
Yeah.
but hey, Baker.
I know.
I don't know. Baker
That
might
was
be out
so
there
embarrassing.
kicking this
That
shit.
was so embarrassing, dude. That
Bro,
was embarrassing. That was bad. That was the one. Like, there's two games that I wanted to win, and I was like, "Yo, you really gonna lose to Jeff Saturday and Baker Mayfield?" Like, that was bad, dude. That was bad.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what though?
That was bad.
Hindsight being 2020, I'm kind of pissed that we lost, that we beat the fucking Patriots. I'm not apologizing for a win.
Hey, that was a good
Never
win.
that.
That was a good win.
Never
Nah,
that.
yeah.
Never that.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is like, damn.
We
You know
needed.
what I mean?
We took whatever we could get last year. We
Hey,
took
man,
every
Yeah.
little small victory
I
that we
swear
could.
that's one of those NFL is rigged games that you'd ever want to see. You look
Right?
at
Absolutely.
that, you're like, now there you go.
Right?
Boy, I tell you what, I thought the same thing.
Ain't no.
I didn't talk to like 3 days after that game.
Oh my God, he just did that.
Right?
Exactly. I couldn't talk to people for like 3 days after that.
Yeah, I was like,
I was talking to everybody after that shit. I was like, Robinson, you see that shit? You see that shit? matter of fact, we was on the phone screaming.
yeah.
Ah! Like little
Yep.
fucking schoolgirls. Shit.
Yep.
Tell the truth. Let's tell the truth. Hey.
Bro, I'm an introvert at heart, man. I was at the crib, I was watching it, and I was like, man, we about to go to overtime in this bitch. That's the only thing I kept thinking. I was like, we just gonna have to get it together. I was like, man, you know, Belichick, this motherfucker gonna throw out all types of shit on us, man. And yeah, I watched it in slow motion. I saw it happening, and when Jacoby threw that pass, Mac Jones was not ready for that shit whatsoever. He wasn't ready. He didn't want no smoke. He didn't want none of that smoke.
None of it.
No.
And
And Chandler gave him all he could handle plus.
And
You know what? If you want to see a game that's a real heartbreaker, go back and see the fucking Kansas City game where Devontae
was
had
open.
that toe tap. Ooh, he had that toe tap, dog. got right there in his hands, and they called it an incomplete pass. That would have won the game. Would have kicked the field goal. We was up out of there. On the plane.
Oh,
Did our little
hold
rounds.
on.
I don't
And
know.
that same game though, that same game for the 2-point conversion, they ran an RPO, right? And the quarterback
Yeah.
sees the safety come down and
Yeah.
doesn't throw the slant. That's one of my biggest problems with the Raiders the last couple of years. Why don't the Raiders ever run slants?
You know why they don't run slants? I'm gonna tell you why they don't run slants, and it's not why you think. They don't run slants because the receivers refuse to run them because the quarterback is setting them up to get annihilated.
Oh shit!
Yeah. You said it. I did it.
Damn.
You said it. I did it.
You go back now. You had said Rich. You had said something about Matt Collins and how much and what he. You go back and watch Matt Collins in the first 4 weeks, and then watch him in the last 4 weeks, and watch what he does when it comes to in breaking routes. They stop.
Okay. Noted.
Right.
Noted. I'm about to go back.
Gonna do that. I done got about 5 concussions this year already with you fucking around.
Right.
Mm.
And you and
Oh, Michael.
and Big Barefoot runs around with no shoes on. He's a tough motherfucker. He said,
Yeah.
"No mas."
He proved it in that Tennessee game. He showed out in that Tennessee game.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, I may lose some more people watching. I don't give a shit.
It's just us talking, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll bring.
No. I'm good with it. Okay. Because what we gonna do is we're gonna throw up that U, and we're gonna keep it unfiltered. We're gonna keep it truthful around here.
Yep.
Everybody blamed that loss on Darren Waller, but nobody wants to see that Derek I fucked him the whole time. Threw the ball late. You know what I mean? Threw the ball high.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like
across the
bro. It looked like that Tom Hanks movie where he got hijacked by them Somalians, and he was like, "Look at me, bro." I fucked him that whole time. He's like, "I'm the captain."
Right?
You can see he choreographed that shit the whole. I was like, "No, Derek." The whole time I was like, don't do it, bro. It was timing though, because he was open at the beginning of his break. He was open.
Yes, that's when he should have thrown the ball.
That's an anticipatory throw.
Michael Thomas will find that out. Don't worry about it.
Yep, he's going.
Hey, hold on. Michael Thomas, not only will he find it out, but he will let his uncle know, and his uncle will go on ESPN and slander the fuck out of him.
Oh, I can't wait. That's gonna be.
I'm telling you the truth.
That's good coffee material right there.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna sit there with my coffee and be like, I fucking told y'all, motherfuckers.
Yep. Exactly. That's what's up. Hell yeah, I'm gonna do the same shit.
All right, hey, before we move on, I just want to plug some shows. You already know my brother from another mother, fucking Phil Robinson, the third, Unfiltered Truth. Subscribe, hit the like button. Raider Kush, subscribe, hit the like button. Get in there. He's on early, help you get a little healthier. Do some workouts. I'll be listening, trying to hit my little push-ups and shit. You know what I mean? You know, I can't interact all the time, but when I can, I do. I mean, I'm trying to do it.
You're looking good.
Hey, your boy's done lost 75 pounds. You know what I mean? Hey, say no to sugar.
You gotta tell them the rules though. If you late, it start at 9:05. I give you 5 minutes to get in there, get stretched out, do your jumping jacks, do all that bullshit, drink your water, say your prayers, eat your vitamins. But at 9:06, if you late, you owe the nation, not me, 25 push-ups.
Right.
That's right. Rules are rules. The people in the chat make the rules.
Right.
Not me.
Right.
Bro, they be telling me to drop. They like, hey, you late, drop. I'm like, all right, shit, my bad.
That's right. And my boy Dwayne put our Raiders podcast if y'all want the most cleanest button up podcast you're gonna fucking see,
Oh, there we go.
a professional with style. Him and Ryan Holmes break it down well. They'll give you tape. They do it all. Please subscribe to the Put On Raiders Student Body Left podcast. It's a great podcast. These are people that I really fuck with, and I appreciate their time and everything they do. So make sure to subscribe to these people's podcasts, and you know what? Subscribe to mine too. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
you already know.
Yeah, I'm bringing all my peoples over to all three of you guys. I only got a small circle, but hey, they strong. They do 25 push-ups at least, 25 to 100 push-ups every day. So my little tribe is strong. They the strongest in the nation.
That's what's up.
Hey, bro.
Tell them to subscribe to the Combat Lounge too. That's
the
absolutely.
Combat Lounge.
Yes, yeah. That's the best thing out there for combat sports, bro.
Sir.
Truly.
Great name too.
Right?
Great name.
Did you see the logo?
Oh, you haven't? No, I haven't showed the new one to everybody. I've kept. He was tripping about that. He didn't like it. I was like, "Fool, you are out of your mind."
Right? Hey, did you see?
Sometimes that's all you need, though. Sometimes that's all you need is a little push it from your homie. Just like, bro, you are stupid. What are you talking about? This shit is sick. And he's like, all right, man, I was tripping, man. And he smoked it, you know what I'm saying? Give him a little blunt. Man, I was tripping. Yeah, man, you was tripping, man. You know
right?
You know what I'm saying? You know how it goes.
Like, bruh, I was like, look, I seen that shit. I came out of potty mask. I was like, oh no, we got to get that.
Bruh, hey, I need a hoodie. I need to get the send me the file. I'm gonna go get some hoodies printed out. I need to get me a hoodie of those. I already trust you. I already hear your excitement.
Bruh, let me tell you, listen, shit. Let me get that shit on the hoodie. That shit.
All right. Yeah.
Shit.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Get a little beanie action. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that shit. Woo! That shit'll go.
You hear that, Rich? I don't even need to see it. Just get me an extra large, and yeah, just a beanie.
Oh shit! You see my last TikTok? I pulled my shirt back to show that unfiltered you. I was like, yeah, bitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, man, TikTok, Raider Nation TikTok, big. That's where I met Rich at, man. Was on TikTok on Raider Nation, man. Hey, Raider Nation is deep out there.
Except for on TikTok, they hella sensitive, bro. Hella sensitive.
Yeah. Hey,
very sensitive.
Man, hey, you know what happened though? I got like 50,000 views because I started a conversation. I put a picture of E40 in Raider gear. Because I was like, right? Your boy, and everybody, the whole Bay was talking about that shit. They're like, well, I'm like, I get it. He represents the Bay. But, man, hey, the conversations was dope, man. If you want to hear some good, wholesome, and deep conversations about the Bay Area and the roots, go and see my TikTok about that shit, about E40. It's crazy. Rich being there, he was talking that shit.
Yeah.
Can I ask Phil a question?
Go ahead.
Phil, what do you feel about the commitment of Deuce Robinson?
That's fire. Ooh, I'm looking at your logo, Phil. I don't mean to interrupt. Oh my God, I need that.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Where'd you put that at?
Tripping, right? Are you serious?
Where's the logo at? I can't see it.
I can't share it right now. It's Phil's, bro. I got.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Here,
dog. I send it to him. He'll see it. Dog. Hey, like I said, extra large. Send me your cash out. I'm gonna get Rich one too, and I'm gonna get my brother right here one. So just tell me.
Yo, he said he sent the money to you already, Phil. He said he sent the money already. He Venmo'd you already.
Yeah, bro. Hey, for real.
I love it.
And Phil's Venmo actually works too.
I know Phil. I know that shit works. Still don't play.
Yeah.
Still
Hey,
not playing with that
the
shit.
Hey, that
me,
shit dope. That shit dope as
the
fuck, bro.
me, fucking the me conservation corp.
Yeah.
ME Foundation.
.org.
Yeah, the me foundation. Yeah.
Yep.
Not me, the
Yeah.
ME Foundation.
Oh, spread side.
Bro, that logo is dope as fuck, for real. That shit is dope. That shit is
Yeah.
dope.
When I seen that shit, I was like, "Oh hell yeah!" Let me
You know what
lighten it.
came
When I got, I
you know
had
what
to
came
color up a little bit just to make sure that the background popped off. But I was like, "Oh, this shit right here,
you know what
go."
came to mind? You know what came to mind for me was colorway. You got to do colorways with it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Different colors, bro. Different colors.
Switch it out. Yeah.
Yep.
Hold
Yep.
on, fellas. I gotta go do something real quick. My bad.
Yeah, no problem.
I
Yeah,
ain't
that
leaving,
shit
but
dope, bro.
I'll be right back.
Hey,
Hey, he about to go get some more food. Look, he got tacos last time he took this break like that on
shit,
you, Phil.
run by the neck.
Hey, you see Nubian and Robinson was like, where the fuck is theirs? You know what I mean? I'm like, shit.
Yeah. Last time,
Pastor
he
and
was
carne
eating good.
asada, shit.
Yeah, see,
Yeehaw,
look, he
man.
was eating good.
Hey, but you know what? Fucking Dwayne lives over there by San Diego, dude. He's like,
Oh, he got it.
man, he's
Okay,
in the place, bro. Telling you.
man. Hey, let's hear more about your podcast, bro.
Me?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, yeah, we do a bunch of different things. So we have I got 2 podcasts on there on the channel. One is USC football and one is Raiders. So we talk about a bunch of
You
behind the
said,
scenes stuff. Also
wait.
break out
Did you
some
say
film.
USC? You said USC
USC.
football?
Yeah,
Oh,
USC
I'm
football.
there. Oh yeah, I'm
Fight
Cal and
on.
USC. That's my 2 favorite
Yes.
teams.
Yeah, so
I'm
fight,
Cal
so we're doing
first,
that.
but USC as well.
People love that Deuce Robinson pick up. So we did a show on that. So
Okay,
just recently. So it should be
I'm there.
interesting. I mean the team. I mean we'll see what happens. They look really fucking good though. It's early. I'm gonna check them out when I go to the spring game.
Check me out.
Oh, for sure.
I refuse. I'm not good. I refuse to get happy about any USC move until they do something about Alex Grinch's defense. It is not going to matter what they do on offense. So at some crucial point, Lincoln Riley will fuck up and do something stupid. But that defense was so goddamn terrible that it's not going to fucking matter what they do on offense because that defense was awful. And it's not just that I hate the players because I'm not even mad at the players. Their coach is a fucking idiot.
So they interviewed to that point. They interviewed Sullivan, the guy who got it for Purdue.
Yeah,
and he said, and it really pissed me off because he said, "Oh yeah, they drop ends in coverage a lot more than they do in Purdue." And I'm like, I'm watching his tape. I did a preview of, I did an all 22 review of all the people who transferred, except for the kid from Georgia Southern. So I couldn't find tape on him.
right.
And I'm like, yo, this dude is a really good, relentless pass rusher, good on the edge, like as far as like not letting people get outside on runs. I'm like, yo, if this dude, I mean, if his philosophy is still to drop defensive ends, dude, it's like it's not. I mean, it's embarrassing. You can't do that shit. Rush the passer. Like those dudes are there to rush the passer. You can't be fucking dropping defensive ends all the fucking time and rushing 3 players. Can't rush 3 players. I guess they hired. They hired some defensive analyst with the team too. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. We'll see.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you this much: Alex Grinch doesn't do better this year. He don't have a job.
He might not
bro.
make it. He's not gonna make it. He might not make it through the whole season. I'm telling you right now.
He's not gonna make it to. He's not gonna make it to week 6 if he don't get shit together.
He's not gonna make it to the whole season.
This when I talked to him. And I know if he was that pissed to be talking to me, Matt, shit.
You asked some questions at the championship game?
Yeah, he was. I mean, we both were. So I was like, normally it would have been one of those back and forth conversations. He's man, it's like bullshit. Damn fucking people. What the fuck are you
Terrible. Fucking terrible.
And you lose Thule this year, so who do you really have?
right?
It's down to
Okay.
Keith Sweat nobody
That's
level.
fine.
We'll see.
Hey,
No
let
way.
I gotta
me
see him
ask you a question, Dwayne.
Yo,
How high in the NFL draft are you going? Would you spend a draft pick on Thule? Because I think he solves a lot of the Raiders' problems because of how
or I don't know.
positionless he is.
I don't think he's third. I don't think he's a first round pick.
You don't, even though he led the nation in sacks.
No, I don't.
His measurables
Okay.
at his size and this level are average.
Yeah, I think he could be a productive player though. I mean, I think he'd be a productive player. But it doesn't really matter if you're a productive player. It doesn't matter where you get drafted.
No,
You know what I mean? So like, I mean, he could be very productive though. I think he could be very productive.
but the question
In
was
his
how
pocket.
take him. I had the highest I was willing to go was a second.
Yeah, second or third round.
Yeah, I'll take a second with him. Yeah.
Second, I'd still take him and feel good.
Rotational year one. Then you can see him coming. You see him coming on towards the end of the first year.
I personally, I would have liked it if he had stayed at the weight that he was.
Yes, he did. Yeah, that was his advice. So who advised him to do that? Somebody advised him. He looks mad thin.
I think he'll be back at his weight by the start of the NFL season, and that's where I would like him because he can play. He can play a 9. He can play a fucking. He can play a 5 tech. I mean, he can almost play a 3. Almost.
Well, if he gets back to where he was at, he should be playing a 3.
I would like to see him as
looking for.
I would like to see him as a 5. I think he can actually be the next Cam Hayward. I said that.
Wouldn't that be nice, man?
Be mad at me, especially if you can get him in the second round.
But at 266, I think he's good enough to be on the edge. Is he going to be super? Is he going to be a super fast hellhound off the edge? No, but I think he's good enough with his hands and will be strong enough at that weight to be a problem for guys.
Right. But, I mean, watching that tape though, I mean, like I said, how many times did they drop him in coverage? I'm like, yo, what are we? I mean, he leads the nation in sacks. Somebody tell this coach
for real.
He leads the nation in sacks. Like, what the fuck are we doing, dude?
Look, did you ever see the first podcast me and Al did?
The film one.
First one, a spring game. The very first thing I said about this shit when I first started my first goddamn show about the USC Trojans was like they need to fire their defensive coordinator right now.
Right now.
Damn.
My boy said off the spring game. I love it. Off the spring game. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Hey Phil,
but,
who do you think is like every year? Who do you guys think is going to be that one to just drop? Because every year there's one that's going to be in that green room that we think is going to be top 10, and they're going to end up going in like
Levis.
Well, however you say his name, I don't care.
Mayonnaise boy.
Levi's.
Levi's.
What you think, Rich? Who gonna drop, bro?
Everybody hates his attitude too. Like every there's not a single person who walked away from that saying they like him.
It's either gonna be Levis or Witherspoon. I think Witherspoon may drop because of his physical nature. You just can't be that physical anymore in the NFL.
And that's the only reason why I would take Gonzalez over him, because if he plays for the Raiders, he's gonna get flagged every play.
He's gonna get flagged all day long, right?
That's a big adjustment.
I see a lot of Sauce. I don't see a lot of Sauce's coverage ability in Gonzalez. I really like his feet. and watching how he stays and watch how he squares up his receiver, how he stays in the pocket and is always in position to make a play because he's squaring guys up. And you don't see people with that ability in this league to just square guys up like that. That is, if he can continue to do that, that's going to be next level, and that's going to give him a lot of help.
Hey, one last question, and I'm gonna hop up out of here and let you guys finish up the show, man. But hey, do you have a comparable for Gonzalez? Because I'm sure you've heard some of the Seawood comparables recently.
He's
He
not
ain't Seawood. He's not Seawood.
Yeah.
Why can't we? I mean,
Bruh,
like,
exactly.
yeah. Why
Blasphemy.
we gotta go all time great? Like, I mean, he's not an all time great prospect. Like, we can't.
Because
go,
they just want to get us to be able to, you know, click on their article and shit. Which I didn't do. I just
Okay.
saw it on headline.
If we go Raider players, I'm gonna give him.
It don't have to be Raider players. It could just be anybody. I mean, that we're seeing that you may have. We can be able to go.
Honestly, I'm gonna give him a Nnamdi Asamoah comparison.
Okay.
Fluid
He
hips.
got great feet. He got good hips.
Yes, fluid hips.
Yeah, fluid hips.
Pays attention to the numbers, the hips. You know what I mean of his receivers. He's very sound. So that's why I'm giving him the Nnamdi Asamoah comparison, because Nnamdi was very. He wasn't Hall of Fame, but he was.
Oh yeah.
In his peak, he was one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
In his peak, he was one of the best.
Yeah, they're gonna wish they had him when Zachariah Branch is running right by them in Oregon next season.
Right?
Yeah, that dude is fast.
Hey, SC got them Branch boys coming in, bro.
Dudes are fast, man. Shit.
Phil, you got anybody you compare him to?
Stylistic. I wanted to say I feel like with what I've seen off of his ability, because I was gonna say I really don't have a comparison. Not at least not one.
You had us with an Eric. Bro. I heard an Eric.
I
Come on, dog.
was thinking about it. I was like, no, that's really not an accurate comparison, and I'm not about to jump out here and say no bullshit.
Yeah, I feel you. Nnamdi's a good one, though. I can see that.
A sound technical player. That's what I see from him. Sound technical player.
Yeah, man.
I see a little bit of a. If you remember, because I mean, there was 2 to 3 different types of variations of this cornerback I'm gonna mention. But if you go back and look at some of the early on tape, I would say damn near like a young Darrelle Revis too. It was a lot unknown about him. People didn't know because he came from a school where it was in Pitt. He was a little more physical than people as well too. Yeah. But he had a couple of different phases, you know what I'm saying, throughout his career where he ended up using more of his, you know what I'm saying, physical ability as well as his man-to-man too. So I could see that.
Okay.
He looks like he's a bully out there.
Yeah, but my whole thing about Darrelle Revis was that would you have Darrelle Revis without Cromartie though? Because remember, Cromartie always covered the number 1. And Revis, Cromartie always covered the number 1.
I don't know about that one. I gotta see it.
You need to go back and watch some tape. And if I know you, because tomorrow you'll call me talking shit. You could be like, you were right, or talking some shit.
But he played bad.
Ooh, you were so fucking wrong, Rich. But I remember Cromartie covering the number 1 and fucking Revis covering the number 2, and Revis had all the fucking praise and all the accolades.
Yeah, but I mean he did have a lot of years with him. I mean, but that's having those 2 corners, my God, though, that was fucking crazy.
Right?
Those two corners on one team.
Yeah.
We can't even draft one corner. We sitting there with a bunch of corners with 1 year deals.
Right?
It'll work. It'll work. I know how to team build. I know how to team build.
The one
I'm gonna
thing
go do
I
that
like
dumb
with
shit.
him though is that it looks like he knows what to do once he gets the turnover.
He has
Okay.
some nice,
Yeah.
Some good
nice
transitions
INTs.
with it.
He's some nice
Yeah,
INTs
that's
too.
really what we need, and we need someone, if possible, to be able to do a lot of different things from the cornerback position, which we didn't see from Hobbs last season.
They just needed
cooked
number
last
one
season
to put.
on the outside.
They need a number one so Hobbs can go play inside.
Right.
Or free safety.
Let him just play because when he plays inside, he's such a good tackler. He's good in the slot. Let him fucking play inside, man. God. Try to make him something he's not.
I'm still about that make Hobbs a safety movement. So
Why?
I mean,
Yeah.
I would. I mean, that'd be nice, but I think they need to put his ass inside. Put
Right
39
back.
inside.
I put him on the inside. Go get a Christian Gonzalez or Devin Witherspoon, and put them on the outside
Yep.
and keep pushing.
There you go.
Yep. Yep.
And then the other spot, you get a bunch of guys out there who fighting for it, like the dude from the Vikings, all these other receivers,
Shelley.
Yeah,
Shelly.
let them all fight for that fight for that other spot. It's gonna be because like
I think Shelly's gonna take it though.
that's fine. I don't care who takes it, as long as somebody take it and do good at this shit. I don't
Yeah,
fucking
I feel
discriminate.
you on that, Dwayne.
Yeah, I don't discriminate. I'm so sick of seeing bad defensive play.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm tired of seeing bad linebacker play. That's what I'm most
Well, you're gonna see some more
upset
because that linebacking core we got right now is the worst in the NFL. You can't find
You
worse.
ain't
You
lying.
want to talk about you want to talk about a brother that would be excited as hell to see a good defense next season. Man, it would be me. Oh my God, I would love to see that.
It would be you and Patrick Graham.
Season.
Yeah. Well, hey fellas, I'm gonna get ready to cut out. As
All right.
Right on,
always,
right
it's
on.
a pleasure to see y'all.
Peace.
I'm gonna be on tomorrow morning to get a little workout 9 a.m. If y'all want to join me, just a little walk. You know what I'm saying? Walk around the park or whatnot. So y'all have a good night. Stay blessed, man. I love y'all. Have a good night, man.
Take
All
care,
right,
bro.
Kush.
All
All
right.
right, brothers.
All right, I know Dirty's about to come on. We love it. We love our brothers and shit. So I'm about to end this. I love y'all.
Peace.
I'll see y'all next week. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better than this. All right.
All right.
Later.